Welcome back, I'm GamerMage0, and last time we finally made it back to our base after a long time of doing a lot of exploring, so I think this is a perfect episode. Well, I'm going to go get some jet fuel here, but for kind of recapping kind of where we've been throughout the entire series. It's been such a long time since we've been here, and we've done so much that at this point it would be a really good idea just to kind of catch up and see where we're at, and if anybody's come in really late, kind of come in and give them an idea of where we've been, what we've done, and things like that. In fact, we'll just kind of start off going over just a few things, but we started way over there where we dropped down initially, kind of made our way up here just looking how we could find some resources fast. We found some pure nodes over here, iron ore here, pure. We found some coal over there, or not some coal, I'm sorry, some copper over there. That was pure. And then our first base is gone. It was just a bunch of buildings randomly just put on the ground. They weren't put on foundations or anything like that. And this part here has been kind of a work in process, kind of like a thought process that I'm still not finished building yet, but just building a road, and that's part of what this is here. It actually is going up. We built that actually not too long ago. Started off on the bottom here, lined up all of our foundries, just kind of brought them out for as far as I thought it would pick up off the line. Did some math, figured out how much it was going to take. So for example, it takes 30 ore a minute, so that way, excuse me, it does take 30 ore a minute here, and then it spits out 30 iron ingots a minute here. So however much that belt can push in from outside is how much these can bring in, and then I just brought it all the way down the line, split it off into two different directions here, and then started building this initially in order to take materials up to the next level or wherever we needed to go. Brought it down here, added on some spacing for some future planning here, and then everything under here was pulled. I plan on building out I plan on covering this up eventually, just putting the walkway over it all the way down, that way we can kind of drive down here. And once these are all upgraded, then we won't have a lot to worry about messing with it. Foundries over here. And then we ended up getting, and this was maybe about a month's worth of videos ago, 30 videos ago I think, some of these vertical escalators, and they actually look really different now than they did a little bit ago. But these have been kind of a lifesaver in trying to figure out how to get this factory going, because even though I was trying to stay organized, it really wasn't working. But that's going to bring us up to the level 2 here. Have some copper going in for making some wire spools. As you can tell, I don't even have anything bringing off of this side yet. All for the future. Got enough copper wire coming down here for all of my project needs. Even though we've been gone for so long, it's still just moving and producing. We have our iron ingots over here. I don't know why I keep trying to hit the buildings. Or steel beams, excuse me, is taking in the steel ingots. Have iron plates and rods coming through here, and you guys get the idea of how this is built. These are producing screws. Screws get produced so fast that you can't just have one conveyor belt out. It builds up pretty quick. I think it's 3 or 4. It looks like it's about 4 before it's too much and overloads the belt. Anyway, so we have some crossing up there, some down here. You guys can see all the rods and plates and everything. So let's go ahead and go over here. We'll go over to our car ramp over here. Yep. Oh, and by the way, I started with this stairway shaft. Just kind of positioned it right here, so that way it would not go through the rocks, but just be close enough to them that it would be right up against them, just to kind of give us the maximum space. Plus it was a good spot to put it, so that way I could kind of go that way. Anyways, so now we have this mess over here. It really looks like a mess at the moment. Looks like it was trying to be neat and then just got away from that. But then we have our reinforced iron plates being produced out. Have the screws and plates going in. Have our frames being produced here. Have our rotors and our stators being produced. And then over here we have our motors that are being produced, and we have the iron pipes, or sorry, steel pipes coming in. And then we haven't really brought this out of anything. Like, we generally need it to construct things, but I haven't found anything that I really need to lead it into yet, so we just have them building up in these. So, but then we come over here and we have some cable being built, wire coming in. And then I had to split this off in multiple different directions here. We'll get to this side a little bit later. Here, come on up here. Now's where the fun really starts happening. This is where we have our much higher end products. So we have our circuit boards. This one's building our heavy modular frames. As you can tell, that's not even going anywhere. I don't need that many of them. Have our encased industrial beams right now, which is kind of like what the max belt is made out of. Which is also why that's going into a container over here. So that way I can get as much as I need and then can just build up. And then of course here, they're being produced. Just jump on this belt here. Okay, so it's about here where things started going out a little bit. We need to start getting some plastics and some other things. But then we got our computers being crafted over here. Looks like these are backed up at the moment, so it stopped production up here. But once we got these made, or as we were getting these made, we ended up having to go get the oil. So let's see. So we are here. Our oil production is right here, and we have a conveyor belt. It's either here, somewhere around here. Our oil production is coming this way and on up past the river and around. And that's where we get to our refineries right here. Now I have one producing fuel, one producing rubber, and then the rest of those are producing plastic, which loops up into here. Alright, now we'll go to our last level of the base. Notice this just gets shorter and shorter. This also gets more and more complicated, of course. We also have our AI limiters being crafted here. Now, our AI limiters and our high-speed connectors are going into this building for supercomputers. We also have our Caterium coming through here in order to produce our quick wire. And I ended up having to build our foundries up here for this. That seemed to be the easiest route to go. This is actually some of the first of the vertical escalators or vertical conveyor belts that I built. And we have a Caterium actually going that way, not too far. So that was pretty helpful. I think it's just right there. Alright, we'll come over here. Now in this thing, we have some quick wire built up. I was having it go into this to store up, but I don't really feel like we need any more than that. And we have our supercomputers, which right now is the max of our technology. It may not be too much longer before we actually have to build the what was it called? Space elevator. There we go. Before we have to build the space elevator again. At the moment, the game hasn't been updated past a certain point, so we've had to start expanding out. And that's partially where we come over here. Alright, now we have a bunch of manufacturers producing crystal oscillators. So we have a cave way back there where we have the coal. Let's see if I can find it on the map. It's gonna be somewhere around this area. Let's see. Nope, it's over here. Okay, so over this area we have that underground tunnel that took us a long time to find, and that's where we ran into like a huge amount of spiders. And we have our coal coming from over here and some over here. I think over here is where we have the big area of coal, and then that's all coming down this way down to us. I don't know the exact line it's crossing. I think it's actually over this way or something. And then we have the couple of the geothermal, let's see, right there, geothermal generators, which is what requires supercomputers. And that was actually really conveniently really close to our base, so just was able to plug those in, and those don't need any resources to actually run. Once you build them, they just keep running. So then we have the sulfur coming, and you saw the sulfur location over here. There's a line coming around this area here over to us, and then the quartz coming over here. We have them crafting into the crystal quartz here, and that's what feeds into these, making the clocks, or not the clocks, the crystal oscillators. They look like a clock to me. Anyways, and then those are being stored in this thing. So I don't know if these will need to be used directly in the production of something eventually. And as you can see, we have our concrete here. Let's see, could use a little bit of a flashlight here. Anyways, now over here was probably one of the last few things we built. We actually have our sulfur coming in along with coal in order to produce the black powder. And then out of that, we have that coming into this thing right here. Notice the beacons. We have them crafting over here, which is part of the reason why that looks like such a mess over there, because we have several different things splitting off, like this here, and the copper wire all coming into here. These two I had to loop up underneath in order to come over here and produce obelisks, which are explosives, and they can be remotely detonated, which is why I assume they need the beacon. We come down here, actually ended up building like what I kind of imagine would be like a vent shaft or something, just mostly for aesthetics. I might close this off eventually, but I had to find a way to lift them and get them over here, and this seemed like the best way to do this. Just to kind of come over and show you. Alright, so over here we have our copper, and this is the under area of our base again. Come down here, and we have a couple of our crafting setups over here. So this entire episode, I just wanted to do a recap, like I was saying at the beginning of it. Mostly because we've been gone for so long, and also because we've kind of run out of things to build at this point. Anything that we do from this point building on is going to be either for aesthetics, increasing the efficiency of the factory, or preparation for the things that we are going to have coming up. And so I'm probably just going to have our next episode go off on another exploration trip again. I want to probably empty out my bags as much as possible before then. I did forget to mention this area. This area here was just for quickly creating biofuel. Let me just double check. Yep, biofuel. Off of all the leaves and plants and stuff that I had, but I ended up not needing to use it as much as I thought. It definitely was beneficial to have. There was a specific time period at the beginning when I was doing power generation through the biofuel, but now that that period's over, it's not really that helpful anymore. In fact, I might not even really need to use it, and it's easy enough to craft by hand on that one. Now let's go ahead and craft some of these things here. We're going to go ahead and get set up for exploring again. I'd love to get out towards the northern areas of the map, the northwestern area, or northeasterns, excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and drop off a lot of our stuff over here. Let's see. It's been a while, I don't remember what we have in which area here. Oh, that's odd. There we go. Okay. Figured it out. Okay, we also got a bunch of other things that we don't necessarily need yet. I think we should put those in here. I also got some of the whips. Mycelia. We can put the mycelia in here, because that's also going to be what we use to create things. Over here, we already... It's like a lot of our leftover equipment stuff. See, do we have any motors on us? Yes. We'll go ahead and put 10 more on us. There's a lot of things that we need out there for like getting the hard drives and things. But even with all of that, I still probably take way too much with me. Let's go ahead and get rid of the summer soup, or the whips. We have... We'll take like partials, because that way we can collect some while we're out. It's kind of hard to tell what we need. Let's see. Yeah, that won't matter. Okay. And then what we'll also want to do is make sure that we have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we actually do need more cable. Alright, and then more beacons. Okay. So we have the thing creating beacons over there. Let's see. Grab this. Alright, let's go grab some beacons here. We'll grab some cable, some more crystal oscillators. Looks like we're going to run across the crystal oscillators first, so let's go ahead and grab those. We only need like 20 of them. They stack to 100. Let's put that. Actually, 100's good. I don't think I'm going to find crystal oscillators out there. If I do, it'll be rare. Okay, beacons should be next, and then we'll have... That was weird. And then we'll have cables next. It's kind of the weird thing about this game, because most games you want to do your best to not have things on you. But this game doesn't work like that. Okay, we have, it's hard to see in the light there, cable 333. That should probably do. Looks like we have enough room on us for a lot of other things. Probably too many screws. I don't think I need any screws. Okay, was there another building that I had to create? Oh, I am missing one building. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So steel pipes. Luckily we did not go too far. I'll just take them out of here. Not like picking an intentional number, I just want more than we need on there, but not a full stack, so that way we can collect some more while we're out. Alright, now the last question is, can we still create the Explorer? It requires 15. How many beacons did we need? 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, cool. We can still create the Explorer. We have enough motors, enough oscillators for everything that we're doing. And 5 of the heavy modular frames, and we only need 20. Okay, so basically I was making sure that anything on our to-do list isn't going to mess up us being able to get the Explorer or not. I like to be able to pack it up and on me because I want to be able to use the jetpack whenever we have a lot of varied terrain, so height and things like that. But if we get some flat open terrain, which there's a northern desert area, that'll be amazing for the Explorer. Actually be able to let out and go. That's what I'm really hoping to get to. That Explorer's fun. It's just sometimes not as convenient as jetpacking. Alright, we're going to stock up on some more fuel. I got some, but it's not going to be enough. Like, since we've been gone, I'd used almost 500. It's ridiculous to think of. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Hard drives. Why do I have hard drives on me? I've got 5 of them. Let's go get rid of them. We'll actually start research on them. Don't know I have to jump across those. Alright, we'll go ahead and start the hard drive up in our hub. Get some research going on it. And then that's going to end our episode, so I hope you like this little bit of a recap, just to kind of, not only one, reorient myself. I needed this probably more than any of you did. Like, what's going on back at home base. But also for anybody that had been behind on anything that we were doing, without having to watch everything, you could kind of see where we're going. It's kind of like a one episode for how the factory is too. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, leave comments below on things you'd like to see, things you'd like me to do, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!